I've had really dry skin lately and I've had to change up my skincare routine in order to sort it out. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the products that I've used that have sorted out my dry skin this winter. Hello everyone and welcome or welcome back. So in the last couple of months, I have found that I've had really dry patches on parts of my complexion that I just couldn't seem to get rid of. And I had them here and sometimes even here. And I thought that rather than putting humectants and emollients into my skin, I needed to exfoliate more. Where did I get that from? I don't know. So along with using my retinol, and I currently use the Medicate Strength 10 retinol, I also brought in the Paula's Choice AHA BHA exfoliating mask, and every other night when I wasn't using the retinol, I was also using the ordinary lactic acid serum, and my skin didn't get any better. In fact, it probably got a little bit worse. So I thought, okay, I really need to sort this out, and happily Tamara of Tamara's Timeless Beauty had just done a video about her skin routine. So I watched that and I decided to make some changes. Now, because I'm based in the UK, I couldn't use all the products that she recommends, and also her skin is a lot drier than mine anyway, because my skin is actually normal usually. It's not particularly dry, it's not particularly oily. It was combination when I was younger, and it probably has a tendency to be slightly combination-y, but otherwise it's pretty normal. So I had a good look at her routine and I decided to do the following. I decided to simplify things, take my skincare back to basics, which was going to be cleanse, hydrate, moisturize, and use an SPF. Now, the moisturizing step is a step that I never used to do because I used to find that using an SPF moisturizer with an SPF of 50 was absolutely fine for me. But I think particularly as it's the winter and of course we're using more central heating and all of that, this is one of the areas where I really went wrong and I should have introduced a moisturiser. But the reason I hadn't done is because in the past, like a few years ago, before I started my channel, I used to use a moisturiser. In fact, I wasn't even using an SPF all that often, but don't tell anyone. But then I found that perhaps because I was using too rich a moisturiser, I was getting millier. So I thought, well, I need to stop using that kind of moisturiser. Anyway, this is the journey I've been on, particularly since I started my YouTube channel. And I'm learning as I go. So I'm going to show you my actual routine in a moment. But before I do, let me just tell you about the products I use in the morning and give you a little bit of detail about them. So in the morning, I do a gentle cleanse and I use the Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser, which has niacinamide, glycerin and panthenol, which is a nourishing humectant that works to retain moisture. Now, very interestingly, I was watching Dr. Lee. Yesterday. I think it was about their empties. That's right, they did a video about their empties. And in that, one of the doctors, and if you don't know the channel, by the way, I'll link it down below for you. They are a pair of dermatologists and they do really great videos talking about different types of products as well as the products themselves. And one of them mentioned that actually, even when you rinse your cleanser off, there's always going to be a little bit of a residue left behind. And they were talking about this with particular reference to cleansers that have fragrance in them. So I thought that was a very interesting comment to make, and I'm very glad that I'm using this Cetaphil or Cetaphil, I'm never quite sure how to pronounce it, because it is very gentle, it doesn't have fragrance in it, and it's got really good ingredients that help to keep moisture in your skin even though you are actually rinsing it off. So after I've cleansed and my skin is dry, I go in with my laser, my Nira laser treatment, and I follow that with Nira's hyaluronic acid serum. Now, what I would have done after that, before I started to treat my skin specifically with new products, I would have gone in with my vitamin C, and this is the one I use. This is the Paula's Choice, which I really like. But I've decided not to use vitamin C at the moment while I'm treating my dry skin, just because I know vitamin C can be an irritant. So I thought it was better to leave it until my skin had got back to normal again. Now, what I've been using instead of the vitamin C is this Roche Posay B5 serum. Now, I neglected to look at the ingredients list, which is very unlike me because I'm allergic to fragrance and I shouldn't be using any products with fragrance that are going to stay on my skin for any length of time. And I have to admit, I didn't do that with this because I've been in a forum, and I mentioned this in my skincare best of 2023 video that I released the other day. And it was someone in a Facebook forum who recommended it because she said she'd had really dry skin patches and she was about my age. So I immediately went in and bought this La Roche Posay serum without reading the ingredients list. And weirdly, this morning, as I was just scrolling through my videos, this little video short popped up by a bloke, I can't remember his name, I think he's very big on YouTube anyway, and he said, oh, this Hyalu B5 serum is an influencer product that you shouldn't buy. Apparently it's very big on TikTok. I didn't know that, never heard of it until a couple of weeks ago. And he said it's got fragrance in it, and I was about to go back and comment and say, no, it doesn't, and I thought, well, I better have a look. And believe it or not, it has fragrance in it. Now, it is the very last ingredient on the list, which means there must be only a tiny weeny bit of fragrance in the product. However, it does have fragrance in it, so I'm not sure whether I should be continuing with it. Although, normally, if I was using any product with fragrance, I would end up with really bad seborrheic dermatitis and even drier skin. Whether it's actually improved it or whether it's the next product I'm going to share with you that's improved it, as well as stopping the products that I was using, remains to be seen. But if you are looking for a really nice hyaluronic acid serum, which includes glycerin, medocasoside, which is a very good ingredient according to the Inky list, and panthenol, also a good ingredient, and you're not allergic to fragrance and you don't like alcohol in your products, because this also has alcohol in it, then this is probably a good product for you. But I'm not sure that I'm going to recommend it wholeheartedly, just because it does have fragrance in it, and if you're at all worried about that, then you might not want to use it. Having said that, a lot of the La Roche Posay products do include fragrance, including their Anthelios sunscreens, which I find very mysterious, but people do swear by them. So the moral of the story is check your ingredients if you're at all worried about any fragrance or alcohol, and that's taught me a valuable lesson that I really must remember to do that. So after going in with the serum, I've started to use this Eucerin Repair Cream Moisturiser. Now, the reason I picked this was because the product that Tamara recommended has urea in it, but it's very difficult for me to get hold of. It's the Sukiyaka Suhara moisturising cream, and I just can't get hold of it easily. So I thought I'd find a product that had urea in it, and of course I love Eucerin, it's a great brand. And this moisturising cream is fantastic, which is a moisturiser and a humectant. It's also got squalane in it, and it's got lactic acid as well, and I find it really lovely. It's not too heavy, it's nice and light, it's kind of a bit milky, and it goes very well under my SPF, which I then add. And at the moment I'm using the Paula's Choice SPF 50. So those are the products I use in my morning routine. Now I'm going to show you how I apply them. So for my morning cleanse, I use the Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser, which I'm applying with damp fingers. I'm then going to take my damp microfiber cloth and wipe it off. And then what I do is I let my skin dry, make sure it's completely dry, because I'm going to be going in with my Nira. So usually I use that time to take my pills. Then I go in with my Nira, and I'm just at the moment targeting the bottom half of my face, so my marionette lines and my nasal labial folds, because those are the areas that I want to target. I then apply the Nira hyaluronic acid to the whole of my face, but particularly concentrating on the bottom half where I've used the laser. Now I'm applying the La Roche Posay Hyalu B5 serum, and this is part of my skin recovery program, as it were, where I'm really putting as much moisture back into my skin as I can using this serum. And I usually find 1 or 2 drops from the dropper is enough. It's really nice and thick. Then I use the Eucerin Urea Repair Replenishing Face Cream, which is a really nice milky cream, if you like. It's not heavy at all, and I find it really works very well on my skin. It absorbs really quickly and it doesn't feel sticky or cloggy in any way, because I hadn't been using a moisturiser as well as an SPF until my skin started to feel really dry. And then I go in with the Paula's Choice Skin Restoring Moisturiser Broad Spectrum SPF 50. Now this is a really pleasant SPF to use, because although it's nice and thick, it does absorb very quickly, but I usually leave it about 20 minutes before I apply any makeup on the top, just to ensure that there isn't any pilling.
So once I've done that, and I've made sure I've applied it to my neck and down onto my décolletage, I'll then go in with my final step, which is adding my nipple cream to my lips.
So on to my evening skincare routine, and I start off with the Paula's Choice Omega Plus Complex Cleansing Balm. Now this is a lovely cleansing balm, really good at getting makeup off, and it contains triglyceride, seed oil, and because, as Dr. Lee said, you might end up with a little bit of residue from your cleanser, I think it's really good, if you can, to use one that's got these properties and also doesn't contain fragrance if you're at all concerned about that. Then I follow with the Cetaphil again, and then I alternate between two products. So one of the products that I've been using, which I was gifted by Stylevena at the beginning of 2023, but didn't really pay much attention to it, is this Purito Centella Unscented Recovery Cream. Now this contains glycerin and tiger grass, or cica. So Centella is just another word for cica or tiger balm, or go-to cola. Actually, it's got lots of different names. Now this cica or tiger balm has been used in folk medicine for hundreds of years, according to the Inky Decoder website. And it said on the site that it's been traditionally used as an anti-inflammatory and to treat wounds. Now this also contains medicassicide, which is in the Roche Posay serum. So it's got great properties, and because it's a moisturiser, it's going to help moisturise my skin and reduce those dry patches, and it really has done that, and it feels very comfortable on the skin. Now I've been alternating that with the Paula's Choice Barrier Repair Moisturiser. Now I only bought this about 2-3 months ago, I think, and I hadn't actually spotted when I bought it that it contained retinol. Now when I looked at the site today, they've got a new version of this that doesn't contain retinol. And I'm slightly puzzled because when you go to the site now, you can't buy this one. So it must have been at the tail end of the sort of run of the product. And when you look at the ingredients list on the site, you can't see retinol as listed. And it does have the ingredients listed on the back, but I can't see anything that relates to vitamin A, which is what retinol is. So I don't really know how much retinol is in here, but I think it must be a very, very small amount, I'm guessing. But anyway, this is what I'm alternating with the Centella cream. And this is a really nice thick cream anyway, and it's got some great ingredients in it. For example, watermelon seed oil, and it's got glycerin, squalane, urea and hyaluronic acid, so all the great ingredients that you would want in your skincare. Then I go in with my Revitalash Eyelash Growth Serum, this one here. Now I know there's some debate about whether it's a good idea to use an eyelash serum that has prostaglandin in it. And I looked at the study, and actually, although it is a randomized control trial, which is the best kind of study, it does sound like it's a very small study, but I couldn't actually see the number of participants. In fact, the reporting says one woman found that she had a loss of fat around her eyes, which is the issue that's been raised about using something with prostaglandin in it. Now, I can't say I've noticed that particularly, and I'm going to carry on using it. But Tamara and or her friend Claudia of Claudia Glows are testing a new product that doesn't have a prostaglandin in it. So it'd be interesting to see what they say and whether they think it's as good as the Revitalash. I mean, to be honest, I think a lot of the serums are good. It probably just depends on the individual. And I have tried others. I've tried UK Lash, I've tried Revivalash or something. No, not Revitalash, Rapid Lash, that's it. I tried Rapid Lash and UK Lash, and they both seem to be fine, but I think this probably just edges it. And it is actually very expensive, so I'm assuming because it's very expensive, and I think it was the first of all the eyelash growth serums to come onto the market, that it has the highest quality ingredients, but I don't know that, and I'm not a dermatologist. And finally, I go in with my Lancino nipple cream. I can't find it for the life of me. I thought I had it in front of me, but it's disappeared. But I checked the ingredients in that, and it only has lanolin in it. So unless you're allergic to lanolin, I really recommend that product. I think it's brilliant, and I use it every day now. And that was a subscriber suggested product, and it's really good. So let me now show you my evening skincare routine in action.
So for my evening cleanse, after I've applied my toweling wristbands, which I'm finding invaluable to keep the water from running down my wrists, I then apply the Paula's Choice Omega Plus Complex Cleansing Balm, which I'm finding really helpful at getting all my makeup off, including my eye makeup, because I do have to be quite careful around my eyes not to rub them too hard and be gentle with them. And I massage my eyelashes before I use my microfiber cloth to wipe off the rest of my makeup. And there I'm using the Lisa Eldridge microfiber cloth, which I bought when I bought her cleanser, which I quite liked. But actually, I think the microfiber cloth is the real star because it's lovely and thick. And it really, of all my microfiber cloths, it's definitely the one that gets all my makeup off, as you can see. I then apply a pump or two of the Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser, which I used in the morning, and this is my second cleanse, and then I wipe off any residue with the microfiber cloth. After drying my skin, I then use the Roche Posay B5 serum again, just to ensure that I'm getting enough moisture back into my skin after the cleanse. I will then apply the Purito Centella Unscented Recovery Cream, which I'm using about 2 to 3 times a week when I'm not using the Paula's Choice Barrier Repair Moisturiser that has a small amount of retinol in it. Then I finish off by using my Revitalash, which I must say has made a huge difference to my lashes. And then the very final step is to apply my nipple cream again to my lips to make sure that they're nice and moisturised overnight.
Now, making those changes to my morning and evening skincare routine has really made a difference to my skin. All these dry patches here have gone. This also has improved immensely and my skin just feels back to normal. So I think the moral of this story is be gentle on your skin. Don't assume that because you've got dry patches like I did, you need to exfoliate more. And it's made me consider more what I'm doing and also reminded me, because I'm allergic to fragrance, I really do need to scrutinise the ingredients on the Inky list before I plunge in and buy a product. So let me know in the comments below. Have you experienced dry skin all of a sudden and what did you do about it? Or do you switch up your routine in the winter automatically like I should have done? And if you've enjoyed this video, I'd be so grateful if you'd give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell because it really helps my little channel to grow. And if you can't get enough of me and you want some more news, tips and tricks, then I have a monthly newsletter which drops on the first Friday of every month. And in that I don't just talk about beauty, fashion and lifestyle, but also music, books, movies, TV, podcasts and all the other bits and bobs that make us happy. And thank you so much for watching. It means the absolute world to me. It really does. And I hope you're all doing really well and looking forward with positivity to 2024. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye.